Howdy y'all, I'm Jesse Anderson from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, here to show you how Crystal Beast can still be competitively viable even in 2025 as long as you study hard at Duel Academy. This is just what I am now, there is no going back from this. I vlogged about how YCS Hartford was supposed to be my farewell to Yu-Gi-Oh! Building a crazy, experimental combo deck with friends using that random new Crystal Beast card. It performed a bit too well, so I next found myself at the National Championship in Chicago with another friend. I got to meet my heroes and some new friends who taught me the value of playing this game for anything but the pursuit of glory. I was now at peace with leaving Yu-Gi-Oh! Behind. So Konami made a Crystal Beast structure deck and you guys demanded more combo nonsense! Over the past year and a half of becoming a Yugi tuber, I've had to get way too deep competitively again, while finding ways to make it as fun as possible and making you Crystal Beast players proud. So when the next YCS was announced so close by, look, the dual spirits told me to do it, okay? I'm just going to guide your arm.
This is fine. Okay, other arm. You don't need to be so stiff. You're cold. Let's get you warm.
I love being stiff.
Now that feels better. Are you ready to get your game on? You sure you don't want to play hero?
I'm sure.
You're my best pal!
I want to put this away.
You're wearing this, by the way.
Oh god, that means I have to shave.
So I bleached my hair, but instead of a sad attempt at rainbow, this time it was a sad attempt at blue. I called up a Malice player to help test the different builds I was considering, then we were off to the Rhode Island Convention Center.
Are you ready for the YCS?
Yes, I did so much extensive testing.
Rescue cat. That's the cute one. I don't care for all these other ones. Yu-Gi-Oh cards are extremely detailed for how tiny the pictures are. You need to pop the collar, Jaden. He made such a stink about wanting to do the cosplay justice, and now he won't.
Only one other person was there in cosplay, and I don't think she was competing. On day one, I was surprised by how few people acknowledged, the outfit. I've gotten more comments about the Millennium deck box. Lots of you haven't been watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, it's good stuff! In the main event, I got 3 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses, 2 being to Ryzeal and Malice in overtime, so you know how that goes. But before those losses started rolling in, I got matched up against a bounty duelist and pulled off my greatest plays ever. I'll gush about the duels later in the video, since my channel isn't just for competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. When we get there, I'll give you the full play-by-play.
I made it far enough to make Crystal Beast players proud, and Jesse Anderson, I think, took out a bounty duelist.
People are heading home.
Jaden and Jesse are tired. Oh, I wanted to go see the stage. That's where they do the live stream. They've got quite a rig for it. And some really cool classic monsters decorating the background. Had some real competitive matches today and showed the world what Crystal Beast can do. How'd you do, Jay?
I played Tenpai, so I deserve what I got. Tomorrow I'm going to play some side events. I'm going to play some heroes in the other formats like Edison.
I finally found a Blue-Eyes deck, so I can play Blue-Eyes Odion, but everyone's going to be like, oh, where are your Crystal Beasts? Like, I know I'm the Crystal Beast guy, but like, I want to use other decks sometimes.
He's learning slowly that like cards have multiple effects now.
Oh yeah, playing an actual like modern deck that's not like 20% bricks, very different feeling. You just go
Crazy.
like trade for trade interactions instead of just, you know, doing your 10-minute combo. And
You're basically a stun player with extra steps.
gay rainbow steps. It makes the war crimes okay.
No, it doesn't.
What if Battle City took place at Providence, Rhode Island? How many more magical adventures would Yugi and friends have gotten into? Comment down below what dueling adventure you got into in Providence, Rhode Island.
They would have died. That Marik would have been the least of their problems.
City's been nice to me, except for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Players who win against me in time, because time rules are dumb, but I totally was going to win that last duel. Compare the YCS to your Pokemon and Magic events.
Train wreck. I gotta be honest, from start to finish. The sign-up process, terrible. The fact that I had the website is so bad. I had a deck registration issue, but in Magic, that would be a game loss, and then I could change my deck list.
They didn't let you change it afterward.
No, I had to go buy a QCR.
The second day starts an hour earlier, so it took a while for people to start rolling in for side events, which are the fun part of these weekends.
It's another day. How are you feeling?
Doing good.
Looking good, Jay.
Thanks, man.
Like you're about to get Fiendsmith combo, right?
Oh, I'm getting Feedsmith comboed. Hold on. I gotta negate this.
People lightened up on day 2, and I was thrilled when I got asked for pictures and met subscribers, comparing Crystal Beast cards with fellow collectors. 3 of you wanted me to sign cards? I have autographs from the real Jaden and Aster. They are the people who sign cards. I'm just a guy who really likes Crystal Beasts. Apparently, some people weren't approaching me because they thought Joe and I were too important to bother, which is just so cute and hilarious, when what I was talking to him about was how so few people were coming to bother us.
He wants to show off his feet, Smith Matt.
Beautiful zones. With the
Beautiful zone.
That's not for the viewers that aren't paid.
We got Sean from Hartford and the other ones.
I've got more hair now.
I've had so many fans today, and by the way, I can't freaking believe it. I'm stunned.
I can still beat you in a duel, even if you are internet famous.
I'm playing Crystal Beast, top tier board breaking deck. Let's do this. He's summoning from the extra deck graveyard or banishment. But I've got follow-up here.
Simple spoils of the White Forest, and by using my Reselia, my Diabellstar Vengeance, and the Elzet Azamina in my hand, I will fusion summon the Guardian Chimera. I get to destroy 2 cards you control, and as I use 1 card from my hand, I get to draw 1 card.
By using 2 crystals in the back row, I can summon Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. That's gonna zap your Diabellstar, so you lose your protection. And it triggers Cheap, which can also revive Sapphire Pegasus. And that triggers Sapphire's effect to get my 7th crystal, Amber Mammoth. Now with all 7 crystals gathered, the greatest light in history resurrects. Meet the all-powerful Rainbow Dragon.
Sir, that's a ghost rare, not a rainbow.
Follow up with Revolution Synchron to synchro summon an ancient fairy dragon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crystal beasts, plus the Rainbow Dragon itself to make the most powerful monster in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive.
Counterpoint, it doesn't have 11,000 attack.
True, but I can also revive Revolution Synchron, and these will make a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Arch Nemesis Protos, which destroys your Dark Monster.
You know those players who just look miserable the whole way through? The ones who make you want to reach across the table and go, "What are you even doing here? Crack a smile for Ra's sake." I can't say that to them, of course, but Jesse Anderson can.
Oh, don't look so glum. My friends at Duel Academy always said it ain't over till the last card is drawn. Get your game on. I know we'll have a jewel of a duel. Mitsurugi. Oh, there was a guy at Duel Academy who used those reptile monsters. Professor Viper was a sleazy guy. It is impossible to have a bad time when you're bringing these shows to life. Because, like, if you are having a bad time, just switch to being your character. You suck. Be someone else.
It was very disappointing that neither the main event nor side events were using the Neuron app's new tournament support. Still using paper pairings. Still have 30-minute delays between rounds, but none of the hour-long delays this time, so progress has been made. Side events were still being called through that lousy PA system, so you could easily be waiting an hour for your event to start, only to miss the announcement. Most side events I saw had at least one missing player. Heaven help you when you need to duck out of the event space for a couple of minutes. Jade and Yuki left early, but after hearing some commentary thanks to a new friend who was listening to the stream, I knew there was someone here who was looking for me.
Funny story. We met in YouTube comments a long time ago.
Well, it wasn't that long. It was only a few months ago.
I guess so, yeah.
I really jumped on this. So if you like the Jesse cosplay, you can blame this guy, because when I was researching this, I found he did a stream as Jesse Anderson playing Duel Links with Crystal Beast, and I thought, oh no, I want to do this.
So cosplaying in a YCS is so important because you have to kind of remind people that they love this game. You know, we hear all these fans are like, oh no, I don't like this card, I don't like that card. Yeah, but you're still watching this event. You're still here, and so guys like us, yeah, we're just trying to like bring the life and the fun back into it. So it's really cool to see cosplayers competing again. You did good, and if you actually take a look at the YCS footage, you've got like all this airtime as they got the crowd shots. You're not gonna miss the screen here, no way.
I got it as teal as I could.
Oh, but, yeah.
With black hair, I don't know how anyone does it. How many rounds of bleach?
You doing okay up there?
I kind of have zero thoughts at all. It's just all Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't remember what was happening like one turn ago.
Well, good. That means I'm with my people. I really want to see more cosplayers. My dream of
Yeah,
what Yu-Gi-Oh!
definitely.
could look like is if we get more style. We had that Diabellstar that was here.
Yep.
We've got people with just mad drip, cool team shirts, etc.
Have fun with it. This is a ridiculous show about like playing card games to save the world.
Look at these guys. Look at the drip level that we have
Look
here.
at that guy. That's my best pal,
That could be
Jay.
you.
That could be you.
But good stuff, good stuff. Did you have a good time?
I did.
Let me ask you, now that this was your first time doing this at an event, right? You gonna do it again?
I can't not do this again.
Yeah, we got him. We got him.
They got me.
Just saying, that could be you. You could do this. And I'm not talking to like some imaginary person because we started off as just YouTube comment buddies, and now we're here.
We're here.
So again,
We did
Yu-Gi-Oh!
this.
People are real people, and you could be here cosplaying with us, or just having a good time, right? Just saying.
It was not a bit of a challenge actually playing Crystal Beast as Jesse because you've seen on my channel, that's what I do. I push the Crystal Beast as far as they can go. And it really turns heads when people see Jesse Anderson roll up to the... Well, I didn't get to the tippy top of the tables this time, but I took out a bounty duelist, and that was unexpected.
Hey, you'll get him next time, Jesse. Even in the first episodes that Jesse Anderson is in, that's not when he does his best.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one down, just all the rest of you watching to go.
Have fun with it. Otherwise, why are you here?
He came to sit with me in the crowd and had such a lively conversation, not just with me, but also the new friend I'd made and this other random dude. The normal people were just as exciting to chat with as the cosplaying YouTubers. When this guy says he loves this game and the people who play it, he means it. Which made me think about how when you go to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament, or Pokemon, or a knitting convention, you can sit down with literally anyone at this event, no matter how different they seem from you, and you two will have something interesting to talk about and something engaging to do. Rewatching my old championship vlogs hits hard, remembering the opponents who saw the posh gay kid as a free win or trades to rip off. When they'd realize they were losing to Jank, they'd turn so nasty and accuse me of cheating. It's different now that I stay far away from that OTS. I still look like an easy win when I summon Crystal Beasts, but since investing in cool gear, now that people see how passionate I am about my cards, they less frequently vent about how undeserved they think my wins are. Especially with the cosplay, they've been impressed now, though it's still mainly the people sitting next to us who are most impressed with the Jesse Anderson cosplay winning at the high tables. On day 2, my Crystal Beasts were tired, and I was so excited to try the new Blue-Eyes deck, which I was finally able to find at this event because it's been out of stock everywhere I've been looking. I moved those Odion cards over and tried a new thing today. Because people were less serious on day 2, some opponents loved my main character energy, or hated that such an unserious cosplayer who just bought the Blue-Eyes deck and sleeved it up and isn't confident at all about it is somehow stringing the plays together properly and winning and also has Dragon Master? Well, it's true that I wasn't confident about making the plays, but I did know the plays because I'd been practicing with a similar build for a month. This Obelisk Blue uniform ain't just for show. I didn't pick up a deck because I love to cosplay. I picked up the cosplay because I love the deck. Underneath this is an extremely serious veteran duelist. If you're playing in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament, then face it, you love this game. If you are good at Yu-Gi-Oh!, you are still playing it, admit it, you love this game. And if you love this game, then have fun with it! This was my best event yet. Not my best placement, but I feel so rejuvenated, which is weird. I don't know if I've ever felt that way before. People from New England don't experience that emotion unless we abandon all of our ambitions and move to the Cape. I was counting the days until I'd have an excuse to quit this Yugi-Tube stuff, but now I see the way forward, committing to the bit and making more friends because of it. I want to show all of you that being competitive doesn't have to mean being miserable about it. I know I certainly wish I could have shown myself that a long time ago.
I'm glad I stuck around, and I'm glad that I decided to have fun with this. Because it was fun. You don't necessarily have to go in cosplay. Find what's fun for you, and make some friends. Although it is also nice when we get some good wins in there. Alright, time to get back to Duel Academy.
Alright, y'all, I gotta talk about that bounty duel, even though I just got back. There's no rest in a Duel Academy, okay? I ain't no slacker. They put me in Obelisk Blue for a reason. Although I do got some good friends in the Cypher dorm. This opponent had a lanyard, and I had read that bounty duelists get lanyards, but I couldn't see what was at the bottom of it. I didn't want to ask. There were a lot of returning YCS champions, so lots of bounty duelists there. So I knew I was in for a tough fight, especially when he won the die roll and let me go first. So that right there is major red flags. Now, Beansmith plus Tenpai has been really popular at this event, so I figured blind going second, that's gonna be an OTK deck. And the mind games were already starting. My opening hand looked something like this. If you've seen my Advanced Crystal Beast deck, you know about the SP and Colossus combo. It's a very powerful opening. But against someone who chose to go second, I figured his main deck's probably full of board breakers. I'm gonna need more defense than that. So I have been using, yes,
the man with the mark. I summon myself to the field. The man with the mark's effect is that when he's normal summoned, he discards infinite impermanence from the opponent's hand. That's what he does. So I follow up with Crystal Bond. He's level 4, so even if he gets negated, you can still place Rainbow, and I had Golden Rule in hand, so I figured, why pick Sapphire when I already normal summoned? Now I can banish this to summon Crystal Beast and search for the Rainbow Dragon. If you have Crystal Bond, you don't need to normal summon Sapphire Pegasus. You'll get an extra crystal left over. So the level 4 you can summon will be the man with the mark. Now, if the man with the mark had an actual effect that doesn't just discard infinite impermanence, then it could potentially get you to some trap cards, which would provide some protection for my SP and Colossus play, including from things like Dark Ruler No More, which monsters can't respond to. But that didn't happen. I proceed as usual into Infernal Flame Banshee. Nemesis Flag can also search for Protos. That was a really fun card to side in. Even if the opponent's got nothing in play, you can always stop them from summoning Malice, Mitsurugi, or Ignis or things for a turn. But I prefer Corridor. It's a little easier to work with. Now, I said in that advanced control video that you shouldn't be doing this as your main play if you run the full rainbow, if you're doing combo stuff, because, we'll just fast forward through this, you play Nemesis Flag, the SP, banish someone who you'd like back in the deck, play Corridor. At this point, the opponent can drop a rock, which is what I want. I'm trying to bait that out so that if the opponent has Disruption, they're using it on me, and they're using it on the Nemesis stuff. And then I can follow up with my Crystal Beast combos now that I've baited it out. I was running a Diabellstar Azamina engine here to try to negate something, but then I figured, especially with the Odion cards, I can just play right through things. And the beauty of the Odion cards is that it's not just protection, it's not just baiting things out. If it actually goes through, you also get defense. Or there's also a combo you can get 4 monsters on the field. If you would like to know more about the synergies between Crystal Beast and Odion, I'm gonna make a lot of Crystal Beast videos and a lot of Odion videos coming up because I flippin' love these cards. I dropped the Colossus, but he didn't drop the rock when he could, which signals to me that he didn't have it. And I can't afford to stop here. So I did something really crazy that I've never done before. I used Golden Rule, placing some Crystal Beasts, summon Ruby, Ruby moves them up. I feel better about placing double Sapphire these days because you can just put down 2 crystals and those 2 crystals can turn into Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. I just added a second Doom Dragon to my extra deck and oh boy was it relevant. I wanted to go for Saryuja here, but I didn't want to sacrifice 4 monsters, but I also didn't want to turn these into Dugaris and a Sapphire. And yeah, I'm gonna link away Little Knight after summoning it. It was a weird turn, okay? SP and Ruby, link summon Crow Sheep. Then I sent the crystals. The Sheep is so good now because you can combo it with the Doom Dragon. You've got a fusion you can pull out of nowhere, triggering the Sheep's effect to revive someone from the graveyard. And you can also use Doom Dragon to move something down, so that when you summon Ruby, you can then immediately re-summon that Sapphire, get another crystal. Hold on, I had to rewind a little bit because I remembered what else was in my hand. I did have Revolution Synchron in hand, so I know at this point, I'm gonna link these into Sheep, I'm gonna go for Saryuja, I'm gonna dig for some extra defenses. I also had Revolution Synchron, which I used to make Ancient Fairy Dragon, figuring whatever field spell I draw, this can get me to Kaijus or Odion stuff, and yeah, more on Kaijus in a moment. Mill whatever, bring back Revolution Synchron, and combine with the Ruby, Herald of the Arclight. So just in case the opponent was saving something really late, the rock plus another infinite impermanence. Anyway, got to this point. Sheep, Doom Dragon, and then Sheep brought back Sapphire, and the Sapphire got another crystal. Kind of realized I had to get rid of the Ancient Fairy Dragon anyway. I thought I made a mistake when I did that, but then I realized doing this again, yeah, I did make the right play. Saryuja. So I drew a bunch of cards. I remember getting these out of it. Through Goods, going into Salvation, that got me to another Sapphire, which I can definitely play with Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. Not playing it off of Saryuja, I'm saving Saryuja. And Kyoto Waterfront. But in order to get my Kaiju, I needed to send 3 cards on the field to the graveyard. I was out of Link monsters because I started with SP and I used Sheep for the weirdo pivot. I used Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, summoned Sapphire, placed a crystal, 2 cards off the field for the second Doom Dragon, and then I used Rainbow Bridge of the Heart to destroy this and not crystallize it, so that it would go directly to the graveyard. What I was hoping I could do was search for Crystal Miracle, my counter trap. No way they could break through that. But I had to send my crystal to the graveyard, so instead I went for Awakening, which I could at least use on the opponent's turn, powered up by my Rainbow Dragon, to summon a Sapphire, which would place a crystal, which would trigger a bounce. Then I got my 3 counters so I could activate my Kaiju Fun Time. That adds Gamma Seal the Sea Turtle Kaiju, which Saryuja could summon. Actually, I think I put this like over here so it gets extra 300, so it's 3,300. That was my turn. If you don't know, Gamma Seal the Sea Turtle Kaiju is basically infinite negation. I don't know who printed that card, but I think it's an okay card because I use it, and it's in Crystal Beasts. So he surrenders so that I don't know what he's running. Now there's a big mind game. Is he gonna go first or second? Because he tried to go second last time. It didn't go so well for him, but he's playing a deck which wants to go second. But here's where my mind games come in. When someone sees that I've got the Kaiju combo, which can negate everything, they will never let me go first again. Turned out he was playing a Mermail Atlantean deck that was like all quarter century rares. I don't want to think about how many semester tuition at Duel Academy that would cost. But yeah, he comboed off and got Mulan Glacier, and I didn't hit my sides in time, so I lost that. Now we move on to game 3. It has been established that whoever goes first wins, and that I have an auto win going first. So obviously, he thought I would pick going first, but instead, I went second. So he had a deck designed for going second, now going first, and I had everything I needed. I hit him with a Droll, and going second, I got an extra card, so more combo stuff. That's why I really don't mind going second with my Crystal Beasts. Hey, if you've got 40 seconds to play out your main phase, Golden Rule can whip out 3 or 4 monsters immediately, and you can go right to the battle phase. The Odion stuff, also, very good for baiting things out. I love these cards, so that is how I managed to take down a bounty duelist by beating him at his own mind games. It was a really exhilarating duel, and even the game that I lost, it was fun to see, well, fun in kind of a morbid way, seeing as how Atlanteans have now been given a way to summon Coelacanth from the deck, which just seems like it should be illegal, like actually. This took place in Rhode Island. I'm pretty sure summoning Coelacanth from the deck is banned in the state constitution, if not the colonial charters, which are probably still in effect today. Truly, that I won some great prizes today and that I pulled a whole lot of rare and valuable cards that I can use in my deck, that was just a bonus. It was a real treat to get to meet you guys, and that you enjoyed meeting me. It's been fun for me to invest in the things I enjoy about the game, like the vibes. Oh, and MVP of the weekend. Triple Tactics Thrust. It's basically like 3 extra copies of Rainbow Bridge, and it can also set floodgates. There have been some games that I have won using only the Odion engine. The first person to walk by and call out my cosplay was immediately very disappointed in me when they saw a full field of Odion stuff. But I was telling them, my Crystal Beast searches got negated! It's not by choice! Now, as for that Winamat, my Crystal Beasts were pretty tuckered out on day 2. So to give them a break, I managed to finally get my hands on Blue-Eyes White Destiny, which there's a reason why this is sold out. I used myself, the man with the MarkThePage like and subscribe. I excitedly put together my little Blue Eyes deck with a couple of Blue Eyes cards I already had, and I added the Odion engine. So the pivot here is that I am a spellcaster, so link me off into Spirit with Eyes of Blue and search for your field spells. You know how much I love field spells. You know, in this deck, you're always making Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, and that can become Ancient Fairy Dragon, which can destroy Mausoleum of White, and search for wherever I put it. Here it is. So the Blue Eyes stuff can get you to the Odion stuff. When you activate Treasures of the Kings, you'll set Apophis the Serpent. That sets Apophis the Swamp Deity. You gotta have continuous traps to do this. Kind of stinks if you draw this by itself, but Blue Eyes always has a continuous trap. So you've got your level 4 lower spellcaster that gets infinite impermanence out of the opponent's hand, and then you go to field spells, Blue Eyes, get back to Treasures of the Kings, you have protection. Now to get the monster search, you need another card you can set, and maybe your hand is all monsters. Well, you just destroyed Mausoleum of White, so you can banish it to search for Burst Stream of Destruction, set that, and if you already normal summoned, the Merciless Scorpion of Circuit is a big beat stick and lets you move up your trap monsters immediately. Lots of threatening cards, and again, the Odion stuff can win on its own. So it was really cool to get to play the deck that Steven taught me how to use from his video, and to get to thank him in person on the day, and complete it using cards that I had just pulled, which is an amazing feeling. That I've been playing this game for an extremely long time, and that's never quite happened to me before. Yes, I do have Piercing the Darkness in there because I like to have fun. I'll go way more in depth on Odion Blue Eyes, as well as Odion Crystal Beasts, and just Crystal Beasts in general,
There's gonna be a whole lot of crystal beasts on this channel. I'm tired. This really did keep my spirits up, and I hope that it kept other people's spirits up as well. Oh man, one other duel. Okay, I gotta tell you about this. I forgot to take a little video of this. I was playing with someone who had a Marik character deck. I had brought a speed duel deck, Ever Faithful Companions. So he got sphere mode, which I could not break through, but we had just slugged it out. I summoned Dark Magician Girl with Magic Formula. Yeah, the equip spell that gives some attack points and life points, but it was just enough so that I could survive the opponent's attacks from the Winged Dragon of Ra. He had 600 life points left, and I had no way past the Winged Dragon of Ra. So what I ended up doing was Monster Reborn on his Gravekeeper's Curse to deal 500 damage to him. I used Sol and Luna to flip Gravekeeper's Curse back down and then flip summon it to wipe out the last of his 100 life points. And I had one card left in my deck. I hope that you enjoyed this vlog and that it has inspired you to have fun with this game. I actually genuinely really enjoyed this YCS. I'm not just glad I got the experience or glad I found out how that would go. Find what's fun about Yu-Gi-Oh! For you and really commit to the bit. Have fun, make friends, get your game on, and you better play your cards right!